Hello, everyone. Gary Laubach, John Leone. We are behind the mic because we're going to be behind the mic for men's and women's basketball. We want to talk a little bit about men's basketball today under head coach Mike McGarvey. I'm not sure. I guess this is 1.4 years of service. He obviously took over a program last year, totally unexpected at the time, but he took the team to the Patriot League Championship. Nothing bad about that.
No, it was kind of a reset in the middle of the season, some adversity going on within the program, but that's all in the past now. And Mike brought for certain, a calming influence over things. And I think when the dust settled, the guys were playing more freely, and I think they responded well, and the result was a near miraculous run through the Patriot League tournament.
All right, so let's look at what we do have coming back. We have 9 players returning. Almost every one of them had significant playing time last year. So it's not like they come in as unknowns. They are not. But do they have all the pieces? Ryan Pettit, John Brantley, Devin Himes, Eric Sonberg, Isaiah Thompson, Kyle Jenkins, Justin Vanderbond, TJ Berger, and Chris Rabayo. Rabayo and Vanderbond offer as good size. Are they physical enough in the middle? That yet to be determined. We've got some ball handlers, John, and I think we have a good freshman ball handler, Mark Butler, who may very well get a start as a freshman.
He may, Gary, but I've had a chance to see him twice now. I think the biggest element, the biggest news for Lafayette fans is you're going to see a little tweak in the system. He's had a full preseason now to implement his system. The tenets are the same. You're still going to see some ball screens and so forth, but the biggest difference is watch for the offense to be initiated with a pass to the high post. It is a high post oriented offense. I think it fits his team well. As I was walking out of the last scrimmage, they played very well against the Division II Westchester team. It wasn't so much the opponent, it was what they did. As I was walking out, I shouted over to Mike McGarvey. I said, "That's pretty, Mike. I'm a high post kind of guy." He said, "Well, we're a high post kind of team." And it's true. When Justin Vanderbond and Chris Rabayo are allowed to open the center by staying at the high post, not permanently, but opening up that center, we have some perimeter people. TJ Berger, you mentioned Brantley, you mentioned some of the other kids that can really get to the basket very, very effectively. It's a fun way to play. It's a fun game to watch, and it just opens things up in the middle.
You get a sense that Kyle Jenkins is kind of the old man of the team, and he's got to be the guy, maybe solidify everybody, make everybody go where they're supposed to go. I think he's got to play with more emotion.
Yeah, I think he does too. The thing about Kyle is this offense might help him as well. You won't see 2 post people on the court as much as in the past, but that allows Kyle to step to the perimeter. He's mobile for a big guy. You look at Kyle, and the eye test tells you that he should be a powerhouse inside. It's just not him. It's not his game. He's got good mechanics shooting the basketball. He moves well. He knows the offense. He's got a high basketball IQ. So I think that once he adapts and adjusts to the new kind of movement, Kyle's going to have a good year.
Speaking of new, I know you really like Josh Weitz. We didn't see him in the scrimmage as he was injured at the time, but I know you like him and you think he's really going to progress as the season goes on.
Yeah, well, in the first scrimmage I saw him and he just stood out. His resume isn't real expansive, but he's one of those guys who catches your eyes when you're not looking. In other words, you're watching something over here and then something happens out of the corner of your eye and I said, what happened there? And it's Josh Weitz going up for a rebound or making a big play on the inside. I talked to Sean O'Brien after the scrimmage and I said, Josh wasn't playing today. I said, what do you think? He goes, his trajectory, he started off like this and then Sean's way, in the last 2 weeks he's gone like that. And he's just got all the physical tools. The guy I really like is Rasmussen. I mean, he is a 6'7" kid. And the other thing I asked Sean, now those of you who follow Patriot League basketball and Colgate in particular, listen, Tucker Richardson, former Colgate All-League MVP, had the same body type. And Rasmussen does a lot of the same things. His basketball IQ is off the charts. He's got the physical ability and the game, in other words, his skill set fits so perfectly into what Mike McGarvey is doing. I think before the year is out, this kid Rasmussen is going to be a guy to contend with.
Well, when you get compared to Tucker, you are going to be a pretty darn good basketball player. Lafayette, they were picked to finish tied for 7th. Colgate, yeah, Keegan Records is back. How many years has that guy played for Colgate? Yeah. Then it's Lehigh, American, Holy Cross, Boston University, Loyola of Maryland, Lafayette, and Navy both picked to finish 7th, and Bucknell and Army. So nowhere to go but up for the Leopards, and I think I like Mike's demeanor. I think the way he teaches is certainly good for kids and for athletes. It should be a very interesting year, seeing where they came from last year and where they ended up.
Calming influence is probably an understatement. Mike has this academic approach, if you will. I know he's a fiery guy on the inside, but players do reflect the personality and the demeanor of their coach. So this is a team that can play well. I've talked an awful lot about offense, Gary. The one thing that does concern me, and I'm sure it concerns Mike too, those two big guys that we're going to use at the post, Rabayo and Vanderbon, they're not real physical players. And there are some guys in the league. You mentioned Keegan Records and Jeff Woodward. There's two of them on the same roster. Boston University's got some big guys on the inside. Every team has a low post presence. Can we defend in the post? That's going to be the key for this team.
So that will certainly be the key. Lafayette opens up Monday as St. Joe's. Mike McGarvey goes home. He's a Philadelphia kid, and he's certainly anxious to get back home. They'll take on St. Joe's at St. Joe's. Then they've got a great trip on the West Coast. They'll go to UCLA. They'll go to Pepperdine. John and I will try to sneak on that bus. Then they'll come back in the home opener against Wilkes. We'll have that ball game for you on the 19th. Then they're in the University of Penn's Cathedral Classic in Philadelphia, and the final non-conference game is at Richmond. So a very tough non-conference schedule, but that gets you ready for a very tough Patriot League schedule. That's our look at men's basketball before the season begins. We'll have a lot more to say as we watch the Leopards on the court. So for John, I thank you so much for watching. I'm Gary Laubach. We are Behind the Mic.